Of Virginia saw a bit more snow than D.C., and our team coverage continues this morning with a look at the roads in northern Virginia. Nicole D'Antonio joining us live from downtown Manassas this morning with how things are looking there. Morning, Nicole.
Hey, Annie, good morning. Yes, we are right in the heart of downtown Manassas, a beautiful downtown, and we are seeing some precipitation here. But I do want to show you the ice because that's the big concern, right? And so I want to walk over here of what looks like snow, but when you look closer, this is all just one sheet of ice here. Same thing with my feet. So again, this looks like snow, but if you listen to it, this has all just been iced over. And this is what we are seeing out on the roadways as well. So that is what things look like. We've seen dozens and dozens of snow plows, both here in the downtown area and as we were driving from Washington, D.C. out here. But I do want to show you this time lapse from Loudoun County because we've been checking all across northern Virginia. This is from a neighborhood in Loudoun County where you can see families out there plowing their, their sidewalks, their driveways. Many saying this is the first time they've had the opportunity to do this in a very, very long time. Now, here in Manassas, we know that the crews here have been prepared with 10,000 gallons of brine, another 3,000 tons of salt. They say that whenever, they are prepared to cover a big snowstorm or any sort of snow event like this, they say that they are prepared to cover 300 miles of road. That's what they did today between the primary and secondary roads, about 300 miles of roads that they were plowing. And they say as of last night, they had done all the primary roads. Now they were focused on those secondary roads. So again, some good news out here is that we've seen very, very few drivers, not only because people have been listening to this advice, but also with COVID, people working remotely. But just something to keep an eye on that, a lot of these sidewalks, if you can see off the light here, they are very, very slick. We were, doing the toe hill to toe hills. We were, walking out here for this live shot, but just be aware of this ice as, we prepare for more weather later today. And guys, coming up in about an hour, we're going to head down to the salt barn and talk with someone from Public Works about how they're preparing for more snow later today. Guys.
We just heard from VDOT, of course, so let's start a check on conditions in northern Virginia for you this morning, where crews, as you just heard, are busy once again. And Nicole D'Antonio joins us live from Manassas. And Nicole, you're with Public Works, the crews right now, right?
Yes, they've been very, very busy for the past 24 hours preparing for this. And right now there is a little bit of freezing drizzle I did want to mention, and you can see just how busy they are as they get ready to go out and continue to pre-treat those roads. But I want to bring in the expert. This is Bud Mullins with here, the city of Manassas. Tell us a little bit about what you guys did to prepare for this first big snowfall of 2021.
Well, actually on Friday we actually started with the material that we use as the pre-treat material. It's kind of like a salt brine, but It's environmentally safe. So what that does is once we apply that, once we get the snow or ice, that helps activate the salts and other stuff that we use along with the plowing to clear the streets.
So just over your shoulder, you can see more snow plows about to go out there.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about what you do now, because we've seen just the icy roads, even that we're standing on here, all around the DMV, there's icy roads. What are you doing now to help prepare for that round two?
So what we'll do now is our supervisors will go out here in the city and we periodically check the ground temperatures. And right before rush hour traffic this morning, we'll actually be taking and applying another round of salt. That way the traffic will also break it up and activate and melt the ice a little quicker and make it a little safer for all the residents.
I thought it was interesting, we were talking a little bit earlier, and of course you've been doing this for a while, but this year is different with the pandemic and you've made some changes for safety.
Yes, ma'am. Due to COVID this year, actually we've had to make our changes with our crews daily, and that's with all departments. So we've had to actually take and think about our snow this year and how we actually set our crews up based on the snow events.
Yeah.
So our daily crews are based on our snow event and separated also by 1 hour. Other departments are separated like 30 minutes to an hour max.
And again, just to continue that social distancing as we are during this interview. But thank you so much for your time. I know you've been so busy throughout the day. And guys, we're going to send it back in to you, but we're going to continue to follow this as we prepare for, more winter weather coming later today. Guys.
6:38, we have crews all across the D.C. metro region working to show you the full scope of this storm. Let's check on the conditions in northern Virginia now. Nicole D'Antonio joining us live from Manassas. Nicole, how's it looking that way? It looks like the wind kind of picked up where you are.
I was just going to mention the wind, and then again that freezing drizzle. We're definitely feeling it, this morning. But I do want to point out, so directly behind us, this salt dome here, there's more than 3,000 tons of salt here ready to go out all across the streets of Manassas, ready to pre-treat those roads for any refreezing that happened overnight, and again ahead of that other possible storm. So just to show you the ice here, this may look like snow, but you can see this is all just one big sheet of ice. And again, looking over on the roadways here, this may look wet, but again, it's very, very slick, and that just shows what the roads look like all across Northern Virginia. But take a look at this video, because I want to show you what a spokesperson here in Manassas just showed us. This is one way that they have been monitoring the streets all across the city of Manassas, so they are able to see in real time not only is there any accidents, but they can also see if there's any issues with icy spots that need to be treated. Across the city, they say they have more than 300 miles of roads to plow. That's between those primary roads and the side streets. And they say as of this morning, they have been treated. Now they're going back out to prepare for that other possible storm coming throughout the day. Take a look.
We actually bring in our two separate crews on two separate occasions, of course, due to COVID. And we sit down and we'll walk through every scenario with them, walk through issues with equipment, what to do to adjust equipment to make their job easier. And about a month prior to our snow season, we take every employee out and make sure they understand and know all their routes is for their safety too. Mark any hazards or anything like that that they may come across with these plows. Because believe me, when these plows hit something, they feel it, even inside that truck.
And as we were talking about safety protocols, they also said with COVID, that's a big difference with this snowstorm this year. They've been separating all of the drivers by at least an hour to separate those shifts so that there is that social distancing this morning. But guys, again, we are seeing some of that freezing drizzle out here. We're going to continue to follow this. But the big thing this morning, big thing to keep an eye on is some of those icy roads. Guys.
Absolutely, and we sure are thankful for the essential workers out there, including you, Nicole. Thanks so much for that report.
We have crews all across the D.C. metro region working to show you the full scope of this storm. We're going to check in on the conditions in Northern Virginia first, where Nicole D'Antonio joins us live from Manassas. So, Nicole, how is it looking out your way right now?
A little bit of precipitation, but I want to show you where we're standing right now. So we are right in the heart of downtown Manassas. This is always a beautiful spot this time of year, but just in the last 15 minutes, we've actually seen crews out here salting these sidewalks, which is a good thing because it is very, very icy. In fact, I want to show you, so even this that looks like snow, when you look closer at it, this is all just a sheet of ice. And this is a pretty good example of what we're seeing all across the DMV on the sidewalks and the roads. So you can see they've done a really good job of treating these roads here. And I do want to show you this new tool that they're using here in the city of Manassas. So take a look at this video here. They've been using this to monitor the roads in real time, so they can see not only accidents, but also any piece of ice that they need to go and treat right away. A spokesperson for the city says they have 10,000 gallons of brine and another 3 tons of salt to pre-treat these roads. And whenever they have a big storm like this, they are looking to do more than 400 miles of roads to plow those streets. So here's what he said is they are getting ready for round 2 later today. Take a look.
We actually bring in our two separate crews on two separate occasions, of course, due to COVID. And we sit down and we'll walk through every scenario with them, walk through issues with equipment, what to do to adjust equipment to make their job easier. And about a month prior to our snow season, we take every employee out and make sure they understand and know all their routes is for their safety too. Mark any hazards or anything like that that they may come across with these plows. Because believe me, when these plows hit something, they feel it, even inside that truck.
So you heard him mention the coronavirus there. That's one big difference of the snowstorm this year is that they actually separated out everyone's shifts so that there was more social distancing throughout the day. And Ellen, as I send it back to you, I just want to mention the key word with all of this, it is very slick. Guys.
Absolutely. We got to remember that this morning. Thank you, Nicole.